On today's episode of Hootworthy, I got to talk to Xavier, an 11th grader here at GCA, and how he won the Wells Fargo National Junior Investment Competition, which awarded him $1,500. We talked about his experience there and the organization he's involved in that got him there in the first place. Enjoy the show. Stoked about this Hootworthy interview. This is fun because this is in person. We're typically on Zoom, but you were able to come out here. So please tell us your name, your grade, how long you've been at GCA.
Well, my name is Xavier. I'm in 11th grade and I've been a part of GCA since 6th grade.
Wow, 6th grade.
Yes.
11th grade. You were almost at the tip of that mountain. 12th grade is just there. You can taste it. Senioritis hasn't quite hit yet, but you're getting there. So Xavier, you had this incredible Hootworthy accomplishment, if I say so myself. You won first place at this Wells Fargo National Junior Investment Competition. That's a mouthful. But what does winning that award mean to you?
It just means that if you put in the work and just kind of limit distractions, you can accomplish anything.
Put in the work, limit distractions, you can win anything. And so I want to backtrack a bit. So I just, spoiler alert, you win first place at this National Junior Investment Competition Wells Fargo puts on. How did you get involved in this competition in the first place? What organization are you in that allowed you to compete at this competition?
So the organization that I'm part of now is the 100 Black Men. What happens is they have mentors that teach mentees. They actually have two separate groups. Some are just mentees, while some are in like the collegiate and some that are already in college.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they basically teach the youth on what to expect, different life skills. Sometimes they even had to teach us on Zoom. It went from being in person to being online through Zoom, which was probably through the pandemic. And they taught many things, from etiquette when going to other people's places, knowing what to say, knowing what not to say. And they also taught stuff that happens in the real world, like non-violent protests and stuff like that.
Okay, so this organization, 100 Black Men, like you said, and this is a national organization, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a national organization. And so you're in the Savannah chapter. Let's talk a little bit about the experience at this competition. So tell me, what was it? Where was it? When was it? Tell me a little bit about that, the basics.
Okay, so the actual competition itself, although it was in one day, the entire I believe program itself was for 4 days, and it took place in Hollywood, Florida.
Okay.
So we had to take a flight there. It was my first time being on a plane.
What? First time on a plane? Okay.
Yes.
And were you terrified?
Not even the slightest.
Okay. And were you by yourself or did?
No, other mentors and mentees that were part of it, and even though they didn't come in the competition, they still came to support.
Oh, fun.
And mentors and some parents that came with some of the children, they actually came as well. And we had to take 2 flights there. It was from Georgia to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale. So then we stayed in a Diplomat hotel. It was a 5-star.
Nice.
I can totally, if you ever go to Hollywood, Florida, I totally recommend you going.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure I bring the checkbook, right?
Yes.
For that 5-star hotel. Okay.
Because the organization paid for the expenses, so we got to enjoy it.
Nice.
And the way it would always start out was we would get up, we would have to go to a certain dining hall, and whether they would do breakfast, I think we got breakfast and lunch, and then we went out for dinner at a different restaurant that was out there.
Oh, fun. So, and when was this?
This was during June of this year.
Okay, so June of 2022. So you get to take your first flight. All expenses are paid. You're put up in this incredible hotel. You had some mentors go with you, and parents were allowed to go. So tell me, the people that you met. Did you meet anyone there that you kind of bonded with, or relationships? Tell me a little bit about the people that were there.
So, as I said before, there were different chapters, and each one had their selected mentees and mentors go. And I think the one place where I kind of got more connections than anything was when it was nearly the end of the night, and after we had did the lunch and everything with the sponsors, we decided to go to this little pizza place that also had a arcade in the back. So, and I think we got to like interact the most with other teens that were up to my age.
Sure.
Because like it was just like the norm for us.
Okay.
And it was like, although it was okay being up at the little restaurant part, it was kind of a bit stuffy because you also had to like dress up. You had to dress up, put on your best attire.
Sure.
Eat. Then we got the change. Then we went out to the restaurant.
Right. Fun. Okay. So tell me a little bit. So you won first place. Tell me a little bit about like the contest. Like, I mean, how did you win? What were y'all actually doing? I know that this is an investment competition, but what did that entail?
So it basically had to deal with making money at a short amount of time. We had a 7-week horizon from when the actual investment program started, and we had to make as much money, and it was virtual money. So don't get any ideas.
Okay, virtual money. All right.
And basically, they taught us the basics on whether to buy low, sell high, what to watch for when determining what stock you want to buy. Okay. And at the end of it, certain people got to go to the national competition part. And what they had to do is you had to do certain slides. I think it was a certain amount. And you had to do it in a certain amount of minutes or less. Or else they would like start deducting points. Okay.
And so what made you win then? What got you first place?
I think it was just because I had done it. I think I'd done it twice. And I actually did different strategies at the time. Okay. Because the first time when I did it, it was a high risk tolerance, but it didn't necessarily get me to where I wanted to be. Okay. And when I did it the second time, I did a low risk tolerance. And although I got to where I wanted to be, I didn't make that much money that I wanted. Okay. And when I chose a moderate risk, which for those of you that haven't got to that concept of money yet, sure, it's basically choosing how much you want to put in one basket and how much you want to put in the other, and how much you are limited to loss. So like if you lose like $100 in that short time, you probably have enough money already still in the basket that you can just continue. Okay. Yeah, if you have enough in your pot, you can maybe go and risk, move it around a little bit. Right. And when I did my moderate risk was actually the best way for me to do it. And I think there was one important day where my mom always told me to like never leave anything on the table that could downgrade you. So, and when I did, I decided the one thing that I've never thought I had to do, it was do nothing. Yeah, leave it. Right, just leave it there. And and I think I was in I believe, third or fourth place during that time. And when I woke up the next morning, something told me, go check your account. So then I went in, did it, and I was first place.
Oh, wow.
I literally did nothing, took a nap, and then woke up, and I was in first.
Wow. So you would say your big takeaway, big advice is just, hey, do nothing. That's the best thing you can do to advance. Sometimes, not all the time, right? No,
Right, not all the time.
Putting words in your mouth here. Do you know what the margin was that you won by? Do you remember how much money you made? And who was second place? Do you recall? Virtual money. It's okay if you don't remember, right? It's virtual money, but...
I can't remember how much,
Okay.
but I believe it was 110,000.
Whoa.
And the person behind me, I think they were down by a lot. So,
Okay. It was a big enough margin.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can manage my money then. Okay, you won 110. What'd you start with?
We started with $100,000.
All right, so you made 10 grand in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, I'll take it. What would you say you enjoyed most about this competition? You can tell me maybe that 7-week process or just like going to Hollywood, Florida. What did you enjoy most about it?
Mostly just going there because, like, although I've been in Savannah my whole life, and my mom even knows this too, I don't want to stay in one place. I want to go out, like, see everything. And just, I remember, I think it was yesterday, just being at an outing day in Tybee Island, that got me into a place where I wanted to be. And
Sure.
I'm an extrovert, so I love meeting new people.
There you go.
And just going to Hollywood, Florida, and meeting new people and making new connections. That's just something that I always look forward to.
Oh, that's fun. Hey, coming over here, you got out.
Right.
So you're welcome. Got you out of the house here to be able to come and do an in-person interview. Thanks so much for coming on. But before you go, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yes. Shout out to my mom, my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, everyone from GCA that knew about the competition, all the mentors, mentees, and just everyone part of the 100 Black Men organization.
Well, Xavier, again, thanks so much for coming on the show. Awesome Hootworthy achievement here, winning that National Junior Investment competition. And keep on keeping on. And enjoyed having you.